There are some pictures from the past that make people stop and stare, not just because of how someone looked, but because of the feeling those moments bring back. When it comes to Jenny Agutter, her old photos do just that. She was more than just an actress, she became a part of people's memories. Many fans remember her from her famous roles, but these vintage pictures show another side of her. A side that is full of quiet confidence, charm, and strong presence. These photos are the kind that make you pause, not because they are loud or shocking, but because they feel special, almost like you are looking at a forgotten time. Jenny was not just posing for a camera, she was telling a story with every picture. Back when she was in her 20s and 30s, her photos were everywhere. Magazines, movie posters, and even newspapers were filled with her face. But not every picture made it to the public. Some were kept away, not because they were bad, but because they showed a version of Jenny that was more real and personal. These are the kinds of photos we are talking about now. The ones that were taken behind the scenes, at home, or during quiet moments on set. They show her laughing, relaxing, and sometimes just sitting and thinking. Nothing is too polished. That is what makes them so powerful. One image shows her in a simple dress, leaning against a wooden fence, her hair blowing across her face. It is not a photo that would have been made into a poster, but it has a feeling in it that is hard to forget. In another, she is on a film set between takes, sitting barefoot on a bench, sipping tea and looking out into the distance. These pictures are gentle, but they leave a lasting impression. Some of the vintage photos are a little more daring too. Not in a shocking way, but in the sense that they show her comfort in her own skin. She was never trying too hard. She knew who she was, and that showed in how she carried herself. A few of these images were never released to the public because they were considered too bold at the time. But now, people are seeing them in a new way. They are a part of history. They are real. And they show a woman who is confident without ever needing to show off. It is easy to forget that before all the digital cameras and editing apps, photos were taken with care. Every click mattered. And when you look at these old pictures of Jenny Agutter, you feel that. You can almost hear the quiet moments between each photo. The air, the light, the mood, it is all captured in a way that is rare now. One thing that stands out in these pictures is how natural Jenny looks. There is no heavy makeup, no fake smiles. She is just herself. That is part of what makes the photos feel personal, almost like you are seeing something not meant for the world, yet here it is, reminding us of a different time in movies and fame. For fans of her work in films like Walkabout and Logan's Run, these pictures give even more reason to admire her. Those roles were bold and unforgettable, but these photos show the quiet strength behind the scenes. The real person who brought those characters to life. She did not just act, she became the role. And when she was not acting, she still had that same calm power in her eyes. What is special is that these images are not trying to be perfect. You will see creases in her clothes, wind in her hair, and moments where she is not even looking at the camera. But that is what makes them so beautiful. They are not about fame, they are about presence. The phrase "for adult eyes only" in the title might sound a little bold, but it is not meant in a rude way. It is more about understanding and appreciating the meaning behind the photos. These are not pictures meant for children who only look at colors or poses. These are for people who notice the feeling behind the image, the story behind the smile, the thought behind the eyes. That is what makes them special. These photos of Jenny Agutter have started to appear more online, and people are remembering why they admired her in the first place. Not just because of how she looked, but because of how she made people feel strong, calm, and connected. So if you ever come across one of these photos, do not scroll past it. Take a moment. Look closer. There is something quiet in these pictures that speaks loudly, even without words. Jenny Agutter may have stepped back from the spotlight in recent years, but these vintage photos remind us that her light never really went out. It just changed, like all great things do. And we are lucky to still see it through these little pieces of the past.